My mom had an affair with my brother's wife. My brother met his wife when they were both 25 and in their last year of school. They got engaged really fast, like about 4 to 5 months after they met. During their engagement, they spent a lot of time together, but they were never allowed to be fully alone together. So this meant that she would spend a lot of time at my house where either me, my mom, or my sister would spend the night with them. Inevitably, we all got super comfortable around each other, and this is when things started to get weird with my mom. My mom, who is 44 years old, started to get a little too friendly with my sister-in-law. Like, for example, we would be watching a movie and they would sit together, and then that turned into leaning on each other, and then that turned into full-on cuddling with each other. Another example is that they would FaceTime each other 24/7, and I'm talking about like waking up and falling asleep to each other on FaceTime. So eventually me and my sister would call my mom out on this, and she got extremely angry, and she was just saying that they were super close, so they would talk a lot, and she said she would stop calling her and talking to her so much, but she actually never ended up not talking to her as much, and she would just hide when they would be FaceTiming, and they would FaceTime for hours, sometimes even with AirPods in, just listening to each other's background noises, and then they would text each other when they would want to say something to each other. This went on for the entire engagement. Me and my sister would joke about how they were lovers, but we were really honestly just joking because we never thought that it would actually get that far. I had just gotten home from work, and my mom, my sister-in-law, and my sister were all sitting on the couch together. My sister had just gotten home like 10 minutes before me, and my sister-in-law and my mom had been together alone all day. I took a seat next to my sister on the couch, and she texted me and said, "Go look at what's on mom's bed, but don't make it obvious." So I got up really quickly, and I secretly went and took a peek into my mom's room. I didn't see anything at first, so I went in and took another quick look, and I saw a strap in the corner of my mom's room.
Wow, this is one of those situations that leaves everyone stunned. It sounds like there were so many red flags along the way, but no one ever really thought it would get to this point. Sometimes, even the wildest jokes turn out to have a bit of truth behind them. This is one messy revelation.
So my 6-year-old daughter came home with a birthday invite, and she was super excited about it. And she's like, "Mom, I got a birthday invite. Look at it." So I'm like, okay. So I open it up and I check it out, and I'm just like, oh my God. It was for a slumber party. I don't know the parents, but at the same time, I was thinking, who's still planning slumber parties in 2024? Because, like, for me, I would never. Only because literally you hear about so many things going wrong at a slumber party. But it sucked because I was like, "Mama, like, you're not allowed to have sleepovers and go to slumber parties like that." And she, obviously, her 6-year-old brain does not understand that like the world is bad, you know what I mean? And I didn't tell her that, but I tried to explain it in a way that she would understand. But, you know, her 6-year-old brain is just like, "I can't go to this slumber party," which I feel really, really bad about. The only thing I can think of is probably just letting her go for a couple hours and then picking her up at nighttime, right? Like, she can't spend the night, but obviously, like, pack her PJs like she's going to, and I can, like, pick her up. But the only other thing is like, I don't know the parents, so it's like, I also don't want to leave her at someone's house. Like, it's different to go to a birthday party when it's like a public place, but like, I'm dropping her off at someone's house, like, that even doesn't sit well with me. So I really just don't know. She's gonna be so disappointed. But she was crying, and I was like, I feel really bad, but I just don't know who's still planning sleepovers right now for 6-year-olds. Like, they're literally in first grade. I don't know. But as parents who are watching this video, do you agree? Do you agree with me? Because I feel like it's odd to plan slumber parties in today's day and age. That's just my opinion.
It's tough to navigate, right? Slumber parties used to be a given, but times have changed, and now safety concerns are at the forefront for so many parents. Letting her go for a few hours sounds like a great middle ground, though. You get the peace of mind, and she still gets some of the experience. The struggle between wanting to keep them safe and letting them meet kids is real.
When I was 19, I was totally obsessed with this guy who was completely not over his ex, and he was in med school to become a doctor, and I'm chronically ill, so I was like, oh my god, match made in heaven, fix me. He's gonna fix me. Girl, the only thing he's trying to fix is you right out of those pants. I promise! He was really nice. He would buy me Taco Bell and pay for my drinks. He was a couple years older than me, and I was a raging alcoholic at this point, so it worked out perfectly, except for the part where he wasn't over his ex, and he didn't want me. The only time he would want to hang out with me was late at night in the back of his car and in jacuzzis, which was nice until it wasn't. So at this point, I had very short, bright red, juicy, cherry red hair. I had every single thing pierced that you can possibly imagine. Don't worry, I held on to a couple of them. But I was definitely not the kind of girl that he wanted, like, long term. So inevitably, girlies, you know how this goes. He starts to pull away, and you go, oh no, what did I do? I thought I was Ramona Flowers to you. What happened? What happened? I thought that we had such a good connection that one time. You know, he has family problems coming up all of a sudden. He has all of this stuff that he just can't ever seem to get away from anymore. Even though he was fine last weekend, but it's fine. Anyways, okay. So you do what any patients would do in that situation, and you try to die. Now, let's not be dramatic, okay? It wasn't just because of him. I was jobless, hopeless, loveless, alcoholless, and friendless. And so I was like, you know what? I just don't really feel like there's any place for me in this world, so let me pop, like, every single Benadryl that we have in the entire house. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? It didn't work, obviously. Hey! Hey! I did get the best sleep of my entire life, however. Anyways, I got taken to the hospital, of course, because I freaking OD'd. And the hospital that they took me to was the one that he worked at. So if you've ever been to a hospital or seen Grey's Anatomy, which is probably not even biblically accurate, you'll realize that they have so many sick people in there and so little nurses and so few rooms and stuff that they will just put people on a little cot out in the hallway. Oh, keeping an eye on you. You're a risk. Girl, I just tried it. I just tried it 20 minutes ago. I promise you I'm not going to try it right now. Literally, I'm tripping off those bennies, bro. I'm tweaking out. Give me a second, okay? I promise you I'm not trying anything right now. Like, personally, I would just like to say, I feel like it's kind of a private thing, okay? Like, don't put yourself on such a high horse that you think I'm gonna try to do anything in front of you. Okay, come on. So anyway, I'm out in this hallway. Just me and my thoughts and the Benadryl. Okay, and I was tweaking out, bruh. I've taken a lot of substances. Never in my life have I been like, whoa, the way that I was then. I'm like sat up in that bed. Whoa. And I was convinced that I saw him. Every single man that I saw who was tall wearing glasses, I was like, what do you know? Like, you know him? Do you know him? Are you him? Am I me? Like, Like, I've never been so afraid, but also a little bit like, oh, like, what's gonna happen? Like, are you here and you're gonna come visit me in the ER? Like, gotcha! Bring you to me right now. Bring you to me and let's break out of here. It's right away in your white Mustang. So I never actually got, like, a concrete answer. Was that you? Because, that was kind of humiliating, like, I must say. That was a little bit embarrassing. You know, I tried for a relationship, didn't work. Tried to not be alive anymore. That didn't work. I don't know which is more embarrassing. I'm chilling now, though. I'm fine. Yeah! So, turns out, I'm not Juliet, and even if I died, he probably would have just been like, oh, dear. Go back to his ex.
This is the definition of a roller coaster. Trying to impress someone who's totally unavailable can really take you on some wild rides. And ending up in the hospital where he works, that's like fate with the worst sense of humor. But hey, coming through it and finding some clarity in the chaos, that's a glow-up moment if I've ever seen one.